All right, so we are very excited to talk about this episode of Survivor. What was this?
My new favorite episode. I keep saying that, but they just keep getting better.
So good. I'm like still in shock.
I think
It was a lot to process.
I will say, I know that most like hardcore Survivor fans are not thrilled, I'll say, with how many twists and new advantages are being added. However, I think in this episode, it shows how well they can work when done right and when used right. First off, we have Erika using smashing the hourglass to switch the teams. Now,
weird if she didn't, to be honest.
Yeah, the winning team who had immunity is now not safe, and the team that originally lost now has immunity and is safe.
Yeah.
For now. So then we move on to the daily challenge.
The
immunity challenge. I'm still on the challenge right now.
I know. A brain. It's always Wednesday nights are busy.
This was a good challenge, I think.
I loved it. I was like, way to step it up.
They basically had to first pull like a cord to drop some blocks into a box, and then they have to stack them with their feet, and they can't touch them with their hands. And then
everything done with their feet.
Everything. And then the hardest part is
killed that challenge.
Picking up a flag and dropping it in between the blocks. However, I will say
everyone was killing it.
Sydney and Evie
neck and neck.
Second to Ricard, who ended up winning.
Ricard barely like just boom. And I was like, okay.
Evie took a strong lead, and then Sydney and Ricard were coming up, and then Ricard was just able to sneak in the flag right at the end.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's safe, Uwa's safe. So now it's between Lubu and Yasa, who have not seen Tribal Council, Lubu at all, and then Yasa hasn't seen Tribal Council in weeks. So
yeah, they've only
days. It's been only like 15 days. I forget.
Yeah, weeks.
Week for us, but like probably like 2 weeks for them.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how quick Survivor is.
So it's so good.
It's so good though.
It's quite this quick. This season is quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we kind of move into some strategy talk. So pretty much everyone knows Xander has an idol. It's pretty much public information. However, what was not public information until this episode was Liana's power, which is the power of knowledge advantage.
Tiffany said,
Tiffany, originally, when I was talking about her last episode, I was like, why is she like running around telling like it's gonna ruin it? Now I'm glad she did, because come on, Tiffany, keep spilling those secrets.
Tiff.
She basically hears from Liana and Shan like there's this power advantage, and she kind of forces Shan to tell her, which is smart on her behalf, because Liana gave in and was like, definitely. Well, yeah, I do have like this power. Tiffany immediately runs that to Xander and Evie, especially after Evie's name starts getting thrown around.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere to me. And I was like, I mean, they're not dumb. I do think
she just got second in the immunity challenge. And she also was, I mean, she's a pretty smart strategist.
But I didn't know they were catching on that quick. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I think because
I just
now joined together, Evie was kind of like a main person that was like talking at like the feast and like the merge, like when it originally happened. I think Evie was kind of drawing some like attention to herself and in like drawing attention in like a target.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Then there's plans on, okay, it's gonna be Evie. We're gonna just throw in Evie. So
yeah, for real.
But Liana and Shan are strategizing. They're like, okay, let me like read through this advantage one more time. Like, you can only ask one person. And Liana's immediately like, if they're smart, meaning Xander and Evie, Xander's gonna give it to Evie. I'm gonna ask Xander and look like an idiot because Evie actually has it. And Shannon's immediately like, no, like you're thinking way too smart. And Liana's like, no, that's exactly what they're gonna do.
Yeah, she's like,
pretty much what they did.
No. They said, let's get even smarter.
I think had it been any other person besides Xander, they might not have fallen for it. But because Xander has, like I said, the Tyler kind of facade to him, where he kind of sounds and looks like he's easily fooled, they thought it was going to be like that easy, where I'm getting ahead of myself. But then there's talk about, okay, maybe Sydney is the person to go.
I don't know why I'm picking that, but because she did.
If Xander somehow saves Evie, then it's going to be Sydney, because they heard Deshawn's name and they're like, well,
gotta split the vote,
because I guess she did good in the immunity challenge, and originally they were kind of talking about getting rid of Sydney anyway.
Yeah, right, they were, yeah.
So a lot of stuff happens, and then
oh my god,
goes up to Evie and Xander and is like, okay, like we're good, blah blah blah, and then immediately Evie's like, I don't trust her,
like a chicken with their head cut off. That's how it was filmed, and I feel like that's literally what it was like. Like,
the one thing I like now, realizing it, Xander made it a point to be like, oh yep, I got my immunity idol right here, I'm gonna keep it on me, blah blah blah, feeding that into Liana's head to make it, you know, that she picks him and not Evie or secret weapon Tiffany, which I had a feeling that it was.
I don't know. I had no idea. I was totally blindsided
because I knew, like, okay, if they're smart enough to think about Xander giving it to someone else, it's going to be Evie. Tiffany does not even cross your mind, but Tiffany was included in those conversations and like is a confidant to them. So I guess Xander was like, I'd rather give it to you because no one's going to suspect you.
Well, see, I just didn't think, I just, like, that all makes sense now, but at the time I wasn't thinking about that at all.
I thought for sure. Okay, I'm just going to skip ahead. Tribal council's called. Xander immediately is like, so I got this idol here, and he even has the rules with it, and he's like, so I can save someone I want, blah blah blah. He does that whole spiel, and then, you know, Liana's like, well, I have an advantage.
Can I now?
And I'm gonna ask you, Xander, do you have an idol? And he's like, no, but you can have this fake one. And I immediately was like, well, don't you look foolish?
And you know, she was like,
great.
Because she kind of was suspicious that was going to happen.
I think she may have been like, oh, is this like a joke? Like he doesn't want to give it over at first. And then realizing she got swindled.
She got played.
She was played bad. And like, originally I was rooting for her to steal it. But then after this, I'm like kind of glad they were able to pull that off.
I'm glad she didn't.
You wiped out the power. You still keep yours without having to use it, which was risky, by the way.
They almost did. At one point, I was like, they should have. And I was like, hey, thank God they didn't. That was like the roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, Xander has easily become one of my favorites. I think I kind of liked him for pulling the weight with the challenges, but like, was like, oh, I don't know how smart he is strategically.
He's smart.
He's smart.
I like him.
I think he's dethroned Shan as the top strategist and like the top like move maker, I guess.
It was like Evie originally was the first one that they showed that was like
strategizing and thinking, and then Ricard too.
Ricard, but like mostly Shan. And then now I'm like,
Xander just came out of left field. I was like, okay, it's the guy who has the immunity idol. But like,
I did not see it coming, but I loved it. It was epic.
So we get a bunch of last minute whispering like,
oh my God.
Oh my God, it's going to be Sydney. Let's split the votes, which was smart. I will say splitting the votes, it immediately makes it so
there's a chance.
If they try to save Sydney, Evie goes home. If they try to save Evie, Sydney goes home. Like it guarantees that one of them gets flushed out. However, it may not have worked had Sydney not used her
her
dice.
shot.
So
And
she was shot in the dark. She doesn't get it. And I think immediately then she knew she probably was gone, because now her vote's not in play. So, and then also Deshaun had an extra vote and I don't know if he used it.
I can't remember. I did not do the math, so I don't know if he used it either.
That might have saved him, or he may have felt confident enough to not use it because they split the votes, but
I wouldn't have used it. I think he should have. It was a good gamble if he didn't use it. Like, I don't think he did. I think that was a good choice.
it was like 13 votes in total.
That would mean he did use it.
Because it was tied for all, and then it was one vote for Sydney that got her booted.
He used it. He did two votes on Sydney, or one. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in the next episode. They'll clarify it. I don't know. But
yeah, because they didn't tell us explicitly. They just showed that he got it. And then I think if you were doing the math, which I was not, I was too busy worrying about who was getting eliminated.
Yeah, but he talked about the math. Like, I think he used it because
I don't know. We'll figure it out next episode. But basically, a lot of drama, a lot of definitely lines drawn in the sand on who's siding with Evie. I am disappointed to see Sydney go, but again, I think as we were saying,
her. But of the three, I easily was
the three, yeah,
I definitely didn't want to lose Evie, and I like
Deshaun.
I like
been a good contribution on Lulu.
Either.
I also like his pairing with Danny, and now with Shan and Liana in their core 4 alliance.
I like it.
That's pretty much this episode. The power of knowledge advantage is finally flushed out. No one used their idols.
Thought in the dark is gone, but so did the person. So
I thought for sure. Okay, here's what I was thinking. When this episode started, I was like, if Xander's smart, he'll give it to someone else because it's obvious he has one. But I was like, maybe Xander's not smart enough to like give it to someone else. Or like, I also was like, okay, if he's playing it first, is it in play now and like she can't ask for it? Like, I didn't know.
I was thinking about that too, and I was like, oh shit. Like, it was just like scared me. I didn't know.
Yeah, so that is pretty much this episode. There's going to be a lot of fallout because apparently Xander and Tiffany are like, oh, I thought it was you, like whatever, like I don't know what's happening. I don't know how Evie and Xander's relationship is after
Deshaun
kind of exposed Evie, but considering Xander went through with his plan, because I feel like what's he gonna do, change his mind like last minute?
I mean,
it's not like it was like game-changing news, like, oh my god, I found out you have an idol. It's like, okay, but like so did most people. So like,
exactly. So I don't know.
The fact that it came from Evie, it might make him more cautious, but I don't see him like ditching her.
He's too smart, which I didn't think he was smart, but now I'm like, he's smart.
It's like, oh, that's real convenient that you're bringing that up now, but you didn't bring that up to me before.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's wrong that she did it, but I still think I can trust her more than him, and he just totally threw her under the bus.
And also, it's like, okay, Liana, who's also supposedly on my team, just asked for my idol.
Yeah, was trying to
and didn't tell me that she even had that advantage. I had to hear it from
other people,
from Evie and Tiffany. So
yeah,
I don't know. And then there was some talk about Heather. I don't know why Heather's being brought into this. Maybe they think I feel like that group's going to be like, it was either Heather and Nasir who like gave an extra vote one way or the other. They're going to be like the ones that take the blame, only because Heather, they were like, oh, you can't tell Tiffany or Heather like that information. And like Nasir was huddled over with the other group for a minute. So
they're like, Nasir, get over here. He's like, okay.
Like, he's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I thought we were voting.
He's so confused.
Yeah.
I'm just up here and then I'm going to go over there and hopefully no one's mad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. but I'm really excited to see the fallout. Super excited.
This was a great episode. Highly recommend if you are for some reason watching this video
Haven't
and
watched.
have not seen Survivor at all, watch it, especially to watch this episode.
So good. I'm so excited and I can't wait to talk about it next week. But you're gonna need to like, comment, share, subscribe.